All right, let's get down to business. So my first consent video, volume 1, revolved around the prompt, no, age is not just a number. The subject matters we analyzed to elaborate on that, the brother Paul Shite situation and our Smelly situation. So volume 2 is going to revolve around the prompt, no, you are not mature for your age. And before I get into what I really want to talk about that's like trending right now, because it's happening right now, I need to talk about something that happened a little earlier this year. So, Honey Boo Boo. This isn't the first time I've talked about Honey Boo Boo on this channel. Like, I think I vaguely talked about her like once maybe. But Alana has gone through a lot of trauma. Her mom has been known to choose men over her family, even though she said she wouldn't. And that's a pathology that will follow at least 2 of her children. So there's a lot of things that happen in her life. There's the whole like dude that was a predator that her mom was dating. And now I see it's manifesting in who she's choosing to be around. So 17-year-old Alana was dating, I do believe, a man in his 20s, a black dude in his 20s. And Dodo, who I do believe is Alana's aunt, said, you just have to know him. He's real sweet. Like, I ain't got to know nobody to know how math works. I don't have to know nobody to know how math works. So, yeah, you could take that and put that somewhere else because I'm not having it. I'm not buying it. Alana is not mature for her age. I don't give a darn about what anyone says about a child. This is not way back when you could get away with having child brides. You need to, like, everyone needs to sit down and ask their mom how old she was when she got married. A lot of your moms and grandmoms are going to say 14. A lot of your moms and a lot of your grandmoms are going to say 14, 15, 16, 17. So we need to have this conversation. And then you need to turn to your father and ask him why did you think that was acceptable? And if he says it's a different time, say that's not an answer because we live in on the same timeline. People love to talk about how, it was a different time. It was a different time. It was not a different time. We are living on the same timeline. We may have more resources, like we're not using sticks and stones no more. We have technology, but this is the same time. We're living in the same time, just different people. It was wrong then, it's wrong now. It will always be wrong. Like I said in my previous consent video, go watch that video before you watch this one. I believe the consent age should be 25 everywhere. And if you are 22, you can be with someone who is 22. If you are 25, you must be with someone 25 or older. That's how that would go. 18 goes with 18. 19 goes with 19. There has to be a range. And we could do that. We could figure out some legislation if we would just stop accepting these pedophiles and predators. Yes. If we just stopped accepting these predators, and we'd stop saying, he's just nice. You just gotta get out of my face with that, honestly. I really liked Dodo until she said that. I saw that Instagram comment and I was just like, Dodo, are you serious? How old are you? Do you not know? So many people are just stuck in a pathology. It just makes me so sad. It makes me so sad to see. So let's talk about this, okay? Let's talk about what's going on right now. So this dude straight up is going to marry his granddaughter, and people are coming out of the woodwork and saying, that's what Kodak Black just said. That's what my dad did. He said, here you go. Here's another thing. There's another thing. People love to talk about cults and whatnot and all that. Isn't it cultish to give off your children to somebody else to marry? And I'm not discussing what they do in places like India where they matchmake. There are matchmaking systems that are instilled in cultures to make sure that wealth stays within the family and people do not lose housing. That is something that is way different than what this is, because first of all, they're not telling these 9-year-olds to go have children. They're not they're not giving 9-year-old to a 50-year-old. And maybe they did in the past, but I don't see that happening right now. So this dude, Florida man, is going viral for marrying his goddaughter as soon as she graduated and turned 18 years old. Like, when I saw this, I was like, oh my goodness, he did not wait. No, like, no one's buying that he waited. And I'm just so sick of, like, R. Kelly and all that, and all people victim blaming. Oh my goodness, just go watch my first consent video. I talk a little bit about that. What also bothers me is there's this dude who's so boldly and with all the gall in the world straight up said, he straight up said that he was a predator, and he straight up said that no one's going to come forward, and he straight up, get him, freaking get him. I don't know his first name. I don't know his last name. I just know that he's freaking making content on YouTube. Y'all love to copyright strike people talking about racism and everything, and literally anything that good for the world. Y'all love to block it, but the people who are racist, people who are prejudiced, people who are predators get to stay on here and nothing happened to them unless freaking Chris Hansen comes out and says, yeah, this is a problem. And then you give them a break, but they get to come back anyway. Y'all know who I'm talking about. But this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And I heard her voice and I'm just like, oh my goodness, this is just not right. She may think this is the right thing for her, but it's not. I know that someone 18 should not be with anyone older than them. That's why raising the age of consent to 25 would also help eradicate the naysayers and the victim blamers who say, well, she 18. She know what she doing. She grown. She's not grown. What's the difference between a 17 and 18-year-old person? Nothing except on paper. Nothing except on paper. They're still teen. Who thought it was a good idea to put teen in consent? Why isn't it at the very least 20 years old? Why isn't it 20? Why is it 18? Because someone wanted to be with a minor. That's it. That's it. And they wanted to feel special. They wanted to feel special and be with someone who didn't know nothing about the world and is inexperienced. Like, everyone is going to say this girl knows what she's doing because she's 18. Because all of a sudden, overnight, when she turned 18, the moment she turned 18, which was very recently, she just lost all that childishness. And people use childish as an insult to adults because, of course, when you're an adult, as in 25, when your freaking brain is fully developed, when you are more likely to make rational decisions based on context clues, logic, and life experience. It's strange to be childish, but people are stuck. And just because you are stuck does not mean you belong with someone who is younger. That means you need therapy. You need a psychologist. You need to go to the doctor. You need to figure out why you are stuck. Maybe you were abused when you were younger. See how that works? See how that cycle isn't going to stop until we figure this out? Do you not understand that? Blaming this girl is going to do nothing. She's going to have kids, and then they could be subjected to issues that she was subjected to because it's a pathology. It doesn't just go away. It just doesn't go away. It's in our DNA. The trauma we have, okay, let something that's loser scrub, losers would understand. When they kill a lamb and they say, oh, if you kill it when it's scared, the meat's tainted. We get scared all the time. We go through trauma all the time. When people are triggered, it instills that same trauma from that very first experience. And it's in our DNA. It's inside us. It affects us mentally and physically. Like, honestly, this girl being 18, I don't care if she's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I don't. You guys love to talk about, oh, they're an adult now. You need to figure it out. All of a sudden, you wake up from 17 to 18. You're supposed to know everything in the world. And when you don't, you're told that you're stupid or you're a child. You are a child. Yeah, you still are a child. Yeah, whoever put it at 18 just wanted to be with someone young. Y'all need to accept that and freaking go on. Whoever is with an 18-year-old is only there for themselves. They're there to fetishize. They're there to take advantage of you. They're there to stunt your growth so that you're like an adolescent your whole entire life so that they have someone to take care of. They have someone that knows nothing about the world so that when something happens, they can just say that's normal and it's actually torture and it's horrible. They want someone to be excited about everything because they know nothing about the world. I could go on forever. This is sick. This is sick. And then for Kodak crap to come on here and be like, yeah, that's what happened. Like, there's already problems with him. Like, there's so many problems with all the rappers that I see. Like, it's crazy. Like, there's just a culture in, like, the rap culture is just insane. Just like Nicki Minaj, and I can't get into it. Can't. All I know is to every 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old, 21-year-old, you are not mature for your age. You are the exact maturity that you are. All right? If any man tells you you are mature for your age and he is double your junior, leave, get scared. You should be scared. He's a predator. He is a predator. When I was in a store, this dude, 30 years old, I was like in high school, try to give me his number. Try to give me his number. He worked there. Like, that's disgusting. It's disgusting. Happens almost everywhere I go. I look really young. People think I'm younger than I am. So it's super extra disgusting. It's terrible. It's an epidemic of predators everywhere. Moms, protect your children. Dads, protect your children. Vet your sons to not be loser freaking lunatics. How about that? Warn your daughters that this can happen and how to navigate to get out of it, because we're not out of it yet. So we can't just say, oh, well, whatever happens. We can't stop it. Yes, you can stop it. And I think it's insane that everyone's just sitting here. He should not get a day's rest. This Florida man who's marrying his goddaughter should not get a day's rest. Where are the picket signs? Where is Black Lives Matter? Where is any person? Where are these people at his doorstep banging on it until he lets that girl go from captivity? He is holding her captive. This is not a marriage. And that is why I say consent should be 25 and up, because this would be illegal. This would be illegal to even write down on paper. He would have to go find someone his own age. I'm so sick of guys talking about, I don't like girls my own age because well, you ugly. You are ugly and disgusting. Go find an ugly and disgusting woman. You cannot expect to be with a Larissa or someone that is younger than you or even looks good and young. Because guess what? You are ugly and disgusting and putrid and old. Until you fix yourself, you cannot tell any woman about herself. Incels, quarter of a men talking about, oh, the women hit the wall, like pedophile talk. That's pedophile speech. That's predator speech. Mark that down and then never talk to that person ever again. We have to do this as women. Do not accept these men that say, oh, you're so mature for your age. That is predator speech for, oh my goodness, you are very young. And you are naive, and I can't believe how naive you are to believe this. It's disgusting. I've heard it. Told to me. You are mature for your age, 30 years old. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And if you think this is a attack on somebody's culture, like I said, there's a difference between somebody's culture and, okay, you guys are going to get married at this age, and you guys aren't going to have babies at very young ages, matchmaking, and straight up just going outside and being a predator and just picking a girl who comes from a troubled home like Alana and saying, you know what, we can be together. Like, what is he really doing for her? Honestly, like Alana, like, what is he really doing for her? Is he going to deter her from going to college? Is he going to deter her from doing anything with her life? Not that you have to go to college. But is she really, like, what is he really doing for her? Is he giving her any resources? If you're going to be an adult in a child's world, at the small least you can do, since it's legal and, like, predators run the government, since it's legal, the least you could do is help this girl out financially and help this girl out trying to figure out what her life's going to be. She's probably just sitting there oogling over you and thinking this, oh, I'm so mature because you told her that, I'm sure. There's all these catchphrases that predators like to use to gain access to young girls. And okay, I'm in the gaming sphere, so I know that there's going to be some guys that love to do the, what about boys? What about this and that? There's a problem with that as well. Do something. Where are your solutions? Some people, some men who love to talk about men problems when women are discussing their problems, they don't want to solve anything. They don't care about predators. They could be predators themselves. What they want us to do is shut up. That's what they want us to do. And I'm not. If you're one of those guys, do something to fix that. Do something to fix what's going on. Help. We can work together to get these predators out of here. But when people sit here and be like, oh, the girls knew what they were doing, da 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 da, they took money, whatnot, for with R. Kelly and all that, it's just like, no. R. Smelly, like, no. Sorry, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. You're a kid. You're a kid. Why is it that especially black girls are always told we know what we're getting into, we're too fast, da 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 da, like it's crazy? That's why I kind of have an issue with this new Wonder Years. I'm bringing it in because I like that there's a Black Wonder Years, and I hope that the Wonder Years actually makes different types of, like, around that time. Asian. How was the Asian community around this time? How was the Hispanic community around this time? I would love to see that. Italian community, that would be awesome. To have different Wonder Years for every single ethnicity that was in America around that time during, like, the Vietnam War and whatnot. I think it's the Vietnam War. Don't quote me on that. But the issue I have with this new Wonder Years is that it's showing, and it's not an issue because it is reality. They show that the boys are vetted and told things differently than how the girl is. So this is a little side note at the end of this because we're talking about horrible things. So let's talk about a decently good thing at the end of this. So this new Wonder Years that involves a black family, they treat this little boy like he's like an adult and tell him like adult things. And then when the girl who is way older than him, way older, let me say way older, she's not an adult yet, but she's older than him, they say, oh, you too fast. Oh, you do this and that, and you need to stop. And then when she says, oh, yeah, I kissed a dude. Oh, where's that dude? Let me fight him. Where he at? And then, like, the boy does something and is like, oh, good job, son. They don't do nothing bad to him. They, like, shame the girl into being this conservative person. So that's either going to do one of two things. And this goes back to the consent topic. She's either going to find someone, and I know this is fiction, but this is just what we've got to work with right now. This is what we got to work with, so I'm going to use this as an example. This girl is either going to find an older man who excites her in a way that makes her feel like she's her own person because she's being shamed and suppressed, or she's going to be taken advantage of by the first loser that is even, it could be her age, because she's like, well, I got to be conservative. My mom always said I had, and then she's never going to enjoy her life. That's what you guys do. That's what some parents do to their kids, and mostly women and mostly their girls. It's crazy. And let's talk about another fictional thing before I get out of here, because I'm so done talking about this. I said all I needed to say. It's all terrible. Kodak whack is trash. This dude, he should not be getting a day's rest. Someone should be saving that 18-year-old girl from captivity. She's captive. Let's talk about the Connors real quick. The new show that replaced Roseanne because she's racist. So now, if you guys have been watching the Connors, Harris, Darlene's daughter, is dating an older guy, and they're making a joke about it on the show. And I don't know if he's going to keep returning because this is the first time we've seen him. That's realistic. That's very realistic. And how you handle that situation will determine what happens. She's either going to run away with this loser, get pregnant, and then come home pregnant and crying because this dude has a wife on the side or a girlfriend that he actually cares about because he thought this was a fling. She's going to cry and it's going to be terrible. You got to get that before that happens. Like, you got to figure out how to talk to your daughters to not deter her from living her life while simultaneously getting the crap, getting this disgusting predator out of her life. And as women, we need to figure out how that happens, because too many young girls are being manipulated into these older men relationships. It must end. It's an epidemic. It's an epidemic. It's been like that. But it's been coddled. It's been accepted. It's been able to grow. Like, it's not going to stop until we say this is disgusting, until we shame it out of existence. Y'all love to shame certain people for what they wear and how they act when they're grown adults doing their business on their own. But you do not want to shame any man that is taking advantage of a young girl because he doesn't have the spark nor spunk to attract anybody his age or anyone around his age. He has to go to someone who's young and inexperienced and doesn't know nothing about nothing, so that when his nothing comes along, she thinks it's something. And that's all I have to say about this. That concludes volume 2. No, you are not mature for your age.